Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Gina Barrett, a program director at the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm here with Jain. She's Executive Director of the Gender Equity Commission in Mayor Peduto's Office of Equity. Welcome, Anu. Thank you for being here today.
I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, we're happy to have you. I was wondering can you start off by telling us a little bit about being the Executive Director? What's your role like? What do you have to do?
So my role is not a common one. So there's aspects of it that I'm particularly excited about, which means that I'm taking global and local lessons about how we can really push the needle on making greater gender parity possible. So even though since the civil rights movement, we've had laws, we've had anti-discrimination policies. Many people are committed to making sure women and gender diverse people have the same access as men do to positions of authority, to resources. We have not seen things like the wage gap close. And so to have a Gender Equity Commission is to follow the example of CEDAW cities, that's CEDAW cities around the world, where you embed someone in local government. So I'm really there to basically go around asking the question, have you thought about gender? Have you thought about gender equity? Because there are many more barriers than people will realize until they ask that question. So I work in city government, so I'm like any other person who works for local government in the bureaucracies, but my focus is really to make sure that we're always asking about the repercussions, because gender is such a major way of shaping our society. And lately, really trying to work with corporations. Public-private partnerships are so important to the work we do. Corporations historically haven't adopted some policies that we're adopting. For example, paid safe leave, just very quickly, that we know domestic violence is a major issue throughout the world, affects all people. And so paid safe leave, it really addresses a major gap that if a person, and it's most of the time, the violence is directed at women, not solely, that if they are experiencing domestic or intimate partner violence, one place that the abuser might target is their workplace. So it becomes a question of work and economic stability or personal safety. And paid safe leave has been a way to help people both keep their employment and avoid further violence. And so we adopted that policy more than a year ago at the city level, and we want to see more private employers join us, because this is proven to help and it's for everyone's good. But so I try to bridge the gap and meet with those folks and say, hey, here's why it's good for business as well as good for society.
I was wondering if you could tell us, what are some of the other traits that make you good at what you do?
What I really value and I love in other people is people who ask lots of questions and really listen to the answers, because I try to be as informed as I can, but I can't ever know all of the different perspectives, the life experience, just different types of knowledge people have. So, and that does come from somewhat of a natural curiosity that I want to know why and how, what do you think? But then I also think it makes me better at my job, because I tend to have a greater awareness that I might otherwise of a range of possibilities. And I think it's really crucial to innovation, which everyone really promotes, but innovation has to start with an internal openness to new ideas, which means asking lots of questions like, tell me about your job. That's actually important to do. So I think that's one of the things. I like talking to people, which helps. And I guess I really like building community with people, like really saying, what makes you happiest in the work we're doing, and how much of that can I help support you doing, so that we're all feeling that we're contributing in a positive way, getting to know each other.
If a student is watching this right now and what should they be asking themselves? Maybe what questions, or what would you want them to know if they're thinking about pursuing a career like yours? What maybe should they be doing right now?
I think a huge part of it starts with self-awareness, and really exercises that anyone can do at any time, to say, what do I find myself gravitating towards? What are the things I like doing, feel that I'm good at doing? So for some, by the time I was in middle school, I was very conscious that I took a lot of pleasure in writing and reading. And that might seem like, oh, everyone feels this way, but to really recognize we're uniquely different. And the things that give you that kind of pleasure, they may not end up being what you do for a career, but it's helpful to know, okay, these are the things I like, these are the things I don't. Some of the things that you don't like, maybe you can develop skills in those things, because sometimes it's fear and anxiety, which makes you not like something. But having that kind of ongoing, lifelong process of saying, what am I pulled to do instinctively? How does that relate to what I want to do in terms of work? What kinds of knowledge or ways of doing things might I need to add to my toolkit if I want to be successful in this? And then I think the other thing that is really cool to do is if you hear about or read about someone who you think is doing something really cool with their career, see if you have an opportunity to chat with them. Ask them, can I have 20 minutes? And can I just ask you some questions? Or send them questions in an email. Like, how did you get there? What do you think I should do? Is there a journal I should be reading, or a certain author I should be reading? Because then you start to really get exposure to people who are doing things. It demystifies what it is that you might end up doing in the future yourself. And when I was transitioning careers, and really inventing a business, I so benefited from people saying, oh, hey, you should try, at my age, which, by that time I was close to 40. So I'm not suggesting someone do this in high school or even in college necessarily, although they could. But they said, oh, there's this professional society. And I didn't even know it existed. And I didn't know that was where I would get a lot of information that I needed. And so the people are a font of knowledge. Successful people are often super busy, but if you send them an email and say, can I have 20 minutes of your time? Or can I ask you these questions? Or who do you think I might be able to talk to? It can sometimes really pay off. Certainly has. People have been incredibly generous with their wisdom.
Was there any additional advice or anything else that you'd like to tell everyone that's watching today?
I guess what I would like to say is actually advice about how to resist some of the pressures of career development. I'm personally very dissatisfied with work culture in the United States, that most Americans work many more hours than in lots of other countries, developed countries. Many Americans don't take vacations that they actually are entitled to. And I think that all speaks to something that collectively we should resist, that everyone is much more than what work they do. And I think that we will find life satisfaction and fulfillment and quality of life higher if all of us say to each other, hey, you deserve a break. You're doing fantastic work. You don't have to work 80 hours a week for me to feel like you're doing enough. And certainly for women, I don't have children, but women do so much caregiving. And then there's this expectation that they should put 110% into their jobs. And a lot of women are really the health consequences, both mental and physical health. So I think let's be kinder to each other and say that our careers are really important, but we can also make sure to be humane as we let's be ambitious and let's also be kind.
Well, Anu, thank you so much for being with us. We really enjoyed all of your advice.
Thank you.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!